Hello and welcome back to my channel. Saturday's come around again and I am just back in the door from group. It's been a good group this morning. We had a standing consultant because our consultant is on holiday, but the young lady did a really good job. Great group. I'm going to start this week before I give you my results by showing you a couple of food items, because one in particular Joe wants to get back in the fridge. So the first item is, I'll let you hold that, Joe, in camera shot. It's mackerel fillets from Sainsbury's and they are boneless and really tasty, and they're £1.75 for the 2 fillets. Currently on offer. I think they're usually £2, but Joe's been eating them this week and tells me that if you wrap it in a parchment parcel and steam it for approximately how long, Joe?
Well, I'll turn the steamer up to 6 to get it really going, and then turn it down to 1 and let it steam for 5-6 minutes. It doesn't take long at all.
And you said it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's amazing, yeah. I love fish.
And you've got lots of omega-3 there.
Yep.
You can have that because it can go back in the fridge.
Okay.
And the other thing I wanted to show you were from our local greengrocers yesterday. They had a marvellous selection of heritage tomatoes. We just picked up some, but these are some of the tomatoes. I'm not sure if this is in shot now because Joe's just gone into the kitchen. But they had tomatoes. Is that in shot, Joe?
A little higher.
Yeah. Tomatoes in the weirdest shapes and the most unusual colours. They had ribbed ones and wrinkled ones and all sorts. So it was just nice to try something a bit different, because most of these tomatoes tend to have a different flavour. And they were selling them yesterday, a really good selection at 57p for 100 grams. So that's our local greengrocers. Right, now Joe's got his fish back in the fridge, I'll move on to my results. I said last week when I did my results about yo-yoing backwards and forwards within that pound, and that I'd be really comfortable to do that. So this week I went ahead and I had 4 hex choices. On a couple of days that was made up of 1A and 3 Bs, but that's fine for me. I averaged 8 sins a day, which is down on last week's sin count, but it's still okay because it's between the recommended 5 and 15. Had an excellent week on plan. I did up my fruit a bit this week because it's been warm and I've wanted something juicy and tasty. So I've had quite a lot of mango. I've had the biggest organic watermelon I've ever seen in my life, which made well over 2 kilos of fruit and was absolutely lovely. They're in Sainsbury's at £2.99. There's no seeds in them and the flesh literally goes right to a thin skin. So it's very little waste, was there, Joe?
No, hardly any.
Hardly any waste. And it chopped up nicely, didn't it? It wasn't sort of
mushy or
mushy.
horrible.
It
was nice and fleshy.
Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And Joe prepares this for me and then puts it in containers in the fridge, and there was at least 2 kilos of fruit off that watermelon. So I've had lots of watermelon this week. I have had apples and pears and things. So I have gone over my 2 portions of fruit that I generally have each day because of the heat. Having said all that, I've eaten like a queen. I'm so fortunate in the way I eat. I can literally choose to have whatever I want, and every day is like being on holiday. I'm just so blessed with the way I eat today. What Laurie in Boston would call, I am on a staycation. And that's how my life feels at the moment in so many ways. I feel so fortunate to be enjoying my life, enjoying the weather, enjoying my food, enjoying my friends and my family. Yeah, I'm blessed in that way this week. So with all that, I gained the pound I lost last week. But again, that's fine. I'm still 7.5 pounds under target. So sitting at 9 stone 6.5 this week and feeling really well, really comfortable in my clothes. Went shopping with a friend on Wednesday evening to buy a pair of trousers, and she was laughing at me because I tried on a pair of size 10s with a side zip and then could take them off without undoing them. I think it's lack of hips that does that. But did buy a really nice pair of jeans in a size 10 that fit easily. So that's the right place for me to be at this point in my life, and I'm just going to focus on staying there.
Oh, while we're on the topic of food and shopping and stuff like that,
I think he's going to show us something else. he disappears into the kitchen. I'll keep going. I'd sing and dance for you, but I'm not very good at either. Oh, he's back. What's this, Joe?
It's the mayonnaise that we bought in Sainsbury's.
Is this organic mayonnaise?
It is, yeah.
It's organic mayonnaise. It's got no unidentified ingredients. They're all really simple. And it's 5 cents for a tablespoon, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really nice. And it's like you say, 5 cents a tablespoon, but it's got sunflower oil, pasteurised organic egg yolk, water, organic spirit vinegar, organic sugar, salt, and that's it. So,
and if you read the labels like we are apt to do, some of the labels have some very strange things. So yeah.
What were we looking at yesterday? Titanium dioxide.
Yeah, does anybody know, can anybody tell us, what is titanium dioxide?
And why is it in Aldi's tartar sauce?
Yeah, because we were looking at buying some tartar sauce yesterday, and we opted to leave it until we go to Sainsbury's again and get one with no dodgy ingredients. Titanium dioxide might not be a dodgy ingredient, it might just be a name for something that we eat every day. But I guess I could Google it. But if anybody knows, what is titanium dioxide?
Well, titanium's a metal, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, let me go on to what I wanted to talk about this week before I run out of time. On Thursday, Joe and I were having a conversation whilst walking, following a comment that somebody had put on my last week's video, and I'd answered that comment by saying, today I think I eat an appropriate amount of food for a woman of my weight, whereas I used to eat enough for the British Army, and that kind of feels true. I do eat very differently today. I do, however, still eat a good amount of the right food. So when we got back from the walk, Joe decided to look up on a website what a woman of my height, my age, my weight and my exercise level should be eating in calories each day to maintain her weight. And am I right in saying, Joe, it was 1790? No, you've got the figures.
1732.
So 1,732 is the recommended calories for a woman of 5'2" and 131.5 pounds. So then Joe took my food diary for that same day and worked out how many calories I'd eaten that day.
We actually did it the other way around. We worked out how many calories you ate in that day first and then looked up how many.
Yeah, but it's the same result, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, we did it the other way.
So I'd had 4 healthy extras that day. I'd had 8 sins that day and plenty of free food and speed food. And I actually had consumed 1,893, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, 1,893. So I was about 150 calories over the recommended calorie count for that day. But that still feels fine because I don't calorie count. It was just a bit of a, let's just see how you do compared to what they recommend. And I have found that as my weight has gone down, so my appetite has gone down. And I cannot eat the amount of food I used to eat, even if I choose to. I just can't physically do it. I do know now what it feels like to be full, and I have never known that feeling in my life. I was always a person who could eat until I was stuffed, give myself a 10-minute breathing window, and then start again. I was never satisfied by food. Even when I was so stuffed that I had to, undo the waistband on my jeans, or, well, there wouldn't have been jeans in those days, it'd have been stretchy trousers. Or literally, flob out in a chair because I was so full. I could always eat more. I never knew when to stop. And I'm really grateful now that whether it's because your stomach shrinks or your appetite changes, whatever the thing is that magically happens in your body, I think I've reached that place now. Because I used to have a friend many years ago who was actually called Jo Day, which is my son's name, but she was a Josephine. She used to come to my house for tea when we worked together, and we would put out dinner or something, and she used to eat about a quarter of what I had. Or we'd even just be having something on toast, and where I'd have 4 slices of toast with something on it, she'd have 1. And she used to say, I couldn't face any more than that. And now I wonder, then I wondered, what on earth does she mean? Couldn't face any more than that. But I know that feeling now, because when there's too much food in front of me, even though I still eat generous meals, when there's too much of it, it turns me off. So I'm guessing lots of people know that feeling. Yes, Joe.
What I think it's to do with is the food choices that you're making now. It's
so
not
where
hard.
I used
It's
to
not
eat
hard.
packets of crisps and packets of sweets.
Yeah, it fills you up a lot quicker eating vegetables, beans, and like lamb's liver, doesn't it?
And meat and
yeah,
avocado.
for a lot less calories.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah. And your organic mayonnaise, that went down really well. So yeah, it's the quality as well as the quantity then, Joe says, that counts. And foods that are satiating are the foods that I'm eating today. And it's a nice place to get to without having to have thought about taking action to get there. It's kind of happened naturally. And now I'm reaping the benefits of that and I'm feeling great by doing it. I find sometimes that there are things that are happening in my week, and what I'm here to do really on my video each week is reflect back over the previous 7 days. And I often find that things happen in my life, and when I'm watching other people's videos or talking to other people or sitting in group, those same subject matters come up. So they obviously happen in other people's lives. And one of the things that I've been having to deal with this week is emotion. Sorry, that's my talking clock in the kitchen, it's 12 noon. Yeah, one of the things I've been having to deal with this week, because of circumstances, has been very much emotional eating and comfort eating. I'm not going to go into details about my family because their business isn't for me to share. But we have had in our family a really, really difficult week with specifically health news and bereavements. I will share that the lady who died in my family was an elderly aunt, but even when somebody's approaching the late 70s and passes away, it brings up emotions in you. Well, it brings up emotions in me. I've had 2 other very difficult lots of health news with regard to people we really love and care about this week. And those were the things that not so long ago I would have eaten over, because I would have felt those emotions and not really known what to do with them or where to put them. So the only action I had available to me, the only thing I knew how to do, was to push those feelings down with food, like physically push those feelings down with food. And that's when I would have resorted to things like white bread and biscuits and cake. Stuff that actually felt like, once I put it into my system, it was soaking up all of that. If you can imagine that those feelings were like liquid in my body, I felt like by pushing down all that food, that comfort food on top of it, would actually absorb all those feelings. And I did that for in excess of 40 years, because it was all I knew how to do. I've never been very good at expressing my feelings. I've never been very good at showing my emotions. I can cry at a film, I can, give me Lassie on the television, something about a dog or something, and I'll eat buckets. But face me with a problem, an emotional problem, that actually impacts on my life, and I never knew what to do with it, how to express my feelings. I'm not good at expressing anger and showing that I'm grieving. Well, I wasn't. I'm getting better at it. I've never been very good at blowing my top and things like that, and I don't do that very often because I don't need to, even though I know how to now. But the biggest problem I had was actually accepting that shit happens and that you have to face it. I was always very good at trying to bury my head in the sand and not deal with these issues. And as I say, this week has been a really difficult time. Not things that are happening to me as a person, but things that are happening to people I care about. And that's when you feel, or when I feel, powerless. And that's when I used to reach for food. Now, I've been dealing with that this week, all week. It's been one thing after another. I went to group this morning, and a really nice lady in group who's on her weight loss journey shared that she had had a difficult week because it was the anniversary of her mum's passing away, and she didn't know how to deal with those feelings. And I thought, it's not just me. Somebody else understands how I feel and what I'm trying to overcome. She was asking for help, and lots of people came up with really sound advice. One of the things that was said that I thought was really powerful was when we're facing an anniversary like that, like I will face anniversaries of bereavements, my dad dying, my in-laws dying, even my guide dog dying, losing babies, you know, anniversaries of miscarriages and things like that. And on that particular day, it hits me like a brick wall. Now, something somebody said in the meeting this morning which really helped me was, that is one day. If I was facing today the anniversary of such a bereavement, why do I allow it to hit me so hard when yesterday was only one day away from that anniversary and tomorrow is only one day away from it? What I took from what this lady said was, I do it because I choose to. I choose to, she didn't use these words, I'm using these words, I choose to wallow in my own self-pity because I know that will lead to me being able to binge, emotionally eat, or comfort eat. Now what I'm taking from that is, I can choose not to. And I've got to today, going through a really tough week, and realised on each of the occasions that I've faced this week, I've chosen not to binge, emotionally eat, overeat, or comfort eat. And I've chosen not to do it in a way without even thinking about it. So because I've faced thinking about these things in the 2 years I've been doing this way of eating, and because I've changed the substances I eat and I don't rely on fatty, salty, sugary, high-calorie foods anymore, it's helped me this week to move away from doing any of those old habits. That doesn't mean I'll never do them again, but it means that thank God this week I didn't reach for food. And the 1 pound weight gain that I got this week was what I deserved. Not because I went off plan, because I didn't. I am 100% on plan because I enjoy being like that. Not because I went over my sins, because I didn't. I averaged 8 each day. Not because I went over my healthy extras, because I didn't. I had 4 healthy extras. But as just Julie said in a sweet comment she answered back for me the other day, our bodies do this to us. Our bodies fluctuate and we have to accept it and allow them to do it. And I think that, again, that's real. It isn't just my body that fluctuates. Everybody's bodies fluctuate, whether they're on a weight loss plan or whether they're living at a healthy weight and have never had issues around weight. Everybody's bodies fluctuate. So I don't need to beat myself up because I gained a pound. I don't need to set myself off on a diet mentality because I want to get that off for next week. All I need to do is to be consistent, because as Kirsty said, being persistent gets you there, being consistent keeps you there. So I'm going to start today as I mean to go on. No treats, no cheats, no what can I get away with, just 100% on plan and loving it, and let's see where it takes me next week. Maybe half a pound off, half a pound on, maybe maintain. But what it won't do is it won't take me off plan. And I'm just happy to be living in this place. So yeah, that's what I've got to bring to you. That's been my week. Shit happens. Me eating over it would not make it better, it would make it worse. So I'm not doing that anymore. But it isn't disrespectful for me not to stuff my face over the fact that my auntie died. She's not going to know anything about it. And actually, I could hear her saying to me, why on earth are you doing that? What's that going to achieve? So, yeah, positive thinking. Let's all try positive thinking. Joe tells me about positive thinking because when I'm a half empty glass person, he points it out to me and I quickly revert to being a half full glass person. I'm grateful for you if you've taken time to watch this video today. Love to hear your comments if you've got anything to add to encourage anybody, or yeah, if you know what titanium dioxide is. And we'll be back next week. We'll see where this week takes me. And remember, works if you work it, won't if you don't. I hope you all have a good week and enjoy the sunshine. Bye.